Hey everyone, it's Steve Sievers for Bionic Buzz. Welcome to Wondercon 2023. This con is put on by the same people from San Diego Comic-Con. Now before we get started, please help us out by subscribing, liking, sharing, following, and most importantly, comment below about how great my Bully McGuire dance is below. Now let's go see who we can talk to. So Megan, for those who don't know about the series and want to check out the upcoming movie, can you tell us about the backstory of this mashup for this?
The backstory of RWBY, or the whole thing.
Whole thing.
Yeah. So so Rooster Teeth was acquired by Warner Brothers, and they started to want to build things out of that. They had a really great comic series that was coming out, and then Warner Animation really wanted to have a part of that, as did Rooster Teeth. Rooster Teeth is known for their animation, and so it made a lot of sense from an animated perspective to make this movie a reality. And they reached out to me. I had worked with them on Warner Brothers. I had worked with on Justice Society World War II, and came together. They asked me if I knew RWBY, and I hadn't at the time, so I did a crash course for 2 weeks. I lived, breathed RWBY, and I knew that I would love it because it was made for someone like me, and it was great. It was everything.
Because I know some viewers might not know about RWBY. What is it?
Absolutely. So it's an American anime, which is really interesting and unique in and of itself. But beyond that, it's about these really strong, amazing 4 young women who are learning how to be what's called Huntsmen on their world. Their world is attacked by these horrific Grimm style characters. And they're these warriors who are doing their best to grow up in a world that seems out to kill them. And it's a really beautiful story about these characters who are just kids trying to do their best. And so and there's also, what I really also love about it is there's a lot of fairy tale elements woven into RWBY as well. Yeah, so each character has a little bit of, RWBY, one of the main characters, is a bit of I believe it is Snow White, and having that little element of it is also really fun. And so pulling those aspects, I'm a big fan of fantasy and of fairy tales. So
yeah, fantasy, anime, DC, kind of all together.
Yeah, exactly. Put it all together, and what do you got?
Sold.
Exactly.
Cool. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. Can't wait to check it out.
Awesome. I hope you enjoy.
Tell us about directing this film.
It was a lot of fun, It was a lot of fun. It was really scary at first, having to bring these 2 worlds together. I know, obviously, been doing RWBY for a long time, but the idea of doing something with the Justice League characters is, it was intimidating. But I'm so happy with how it turned out, and our team did such an amazing job. Working with DC and Warner Brothers was amazing. It was a lot, but it was a lot of fun.
All right, well, here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. Where your passion to be a filmmaker kind of come from? A certain movie or TV show, or something that was naturally for you as a child?
I watched a lot of animation and anime growing up. Honestly, the company I work for, Rooster Teeth, Red vs. Blue, their first big show. That was what really wanted me to get into writing and directing. So as savvy as it sounds, I got my dream job and got to work with Monty and Miles and create RWBY. So I'm super fortunate. I couldn't be happier.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Keep up the amazing work. Thank you for taking time to talk to me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
it. Natural voice, or did it come up with something different? Or?
Initially when we first started doing RWBY about 10 years ago, which was forever.
Oh wow.
She was a bit more reserved, and so the way I was speaking was a bit more monotone, that kind of thing. But her voice is basically my voice. There's a difference in cadence, and over time she also gets more confident with herself. So she grew, which is good. I feel like you're supposed to grow.
Did you use your natural voice for it, or kind of come up with something different?
I came up with something a little bit different. They wanted obviously a younger kind of sounding tone, but also someone who's very, a little bit pretentious, I gotta say. Weiss grew up very wealthy from a wealthy family. She really didn't understand in the beginning about how to communicate or be a team member, and so throughout the series we've been able to see her really grow and be really one of the key members of the team, and kind of melted a little bit. She was the Ice Queen, and now the Ice Queen's melting a little bit.
I love that. All right, man. So voice in the Flash, was it kind of your normal voice, or did you kind of change something up?
Yeah, it's pretty much my normal voice. Maybe up a little bit, just a little bit, because he's he's kind of younger. And then, yeah, I mean, he definitely, we tried to incorporate moments of speed talking, which you can tell I'm a bit of a fast talker anyway. So leaning into that, and it's always easier to talk or to speak more quickly when you've got the words in front of you than when they're coming out of your brain.
Well, I remember as a kid in the 80s, there was someone who would do fast talking. I think it was a Micro Machine commercial or something.
yeah.
Do you remember something like that?
Cool.
Did you ever imitate a fast talker like that?
Legal copy. When you get that at the end of the prices and participation may vary. You're like, okay, cool.
Cool.
But you got to really warm up those articulators for that because otherwise it comes out sounding garbled.
Awesome, man. Cool. Before I let you go, anything coming up you're allowed to talk about?
Oh, that I'm allowed to talk about. This. There are other things that are really, really fun, and I can't wait to share them.
Okay, so where could we follow you on social media when you are allowed to talk about
Sure. You can find me on Twitter at Errigo Voice. ERRIGO Voice.
Awesome, man. Enjoy the rest of your con.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. So tell me about voicing Cyborg. Did you use your natural voice, or did you kind of come up with something different?
It's a lot of me, but this is a younger version of him, so I raised my voice up a bit so that it sounds more youthful. But yeah, for the most part, it's very close to me. I didn't have to do any crazy things to get into character for this one, so yeah.
Very cool. It's a pretty unique mashup. I mean, I'm unfamiliar with RWBY as an anime thing, but you got the Gundam shirt on, so it's cool. I mean, were you familiar before too, or?
With RWBY?
Yeah, RWBY.
I was not. And I know there might be some RWBY fans that dislike me for this, but hang on, I'll redeem myself. Yeah, I didn't know about the RWBY world at all, but after doing the voice and reading the script more, I started to learn about that, and I was like, oh wow, this has been around since 2013, and it's this whole world or whatever, and it's more of an anime kind of style or whatever, which I really, really like. I love anime stuff, so that was pretty cool to discover this new thing, and then also have it be mashed up with DC, which is very well known, obviously, was pretty cool.
Well, I think the RWBY fans would be, hey, new fans of DC might see this and go check out the RWBY stuff, which I plan on doing.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get any cross-pollination is good, because that means these fans are going to want to know more about this world, and then these fans from this world are going to want to know more about this world, so yeah, it's a win-win situation, I think.
Cool. Before I let you go, anything coming up you're allowed to talk about?
Anything that I have coming up?
Yeah. You're allowed to, though. I don't want to.
Yeah, guys, make sure y'all check out ABC's The Rookie every Tuesday night at 8/7 Central. Yeah, that's about it.
Very cool, man. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. Take care.